The Kepler 442b colony had been humanity's pride, a thriving settlement of 2 million souls nestled beneath twin suns, their biodomes gleaming like emeralds against the russet landscape. Commander Elena Vasquez still remembered the children's laughter echoing through the agricultural sectors, the bustling markets where earth spices mingled with alien aromatics, the hope that radiated from every corner of New Eden. Now, 3 years later, she stood on the bridge of the Retribution, watching the debris field that had once been her home drift silently through space. Twisted metal and crystallized atmosphere told the story of the Zephyrian Collective's cleansing operation, their clinical term for genocide. "Sensor sweep complete, Commander," reported Lieutenant Chen, his voice tight with controlled emotion. "Confirmed. No survivors in the debris field. The nanite plague consumed everything organic within 6 hours of deployment." Elena's jaw clenched. The Zephyrians had been thorough. Their bioweapon had been designed specifically for human physiology, dissolving DNA chains while leaving their crystalline technology intact. To them, it had been pest control. To humanity, it had been the beginning of a war they never saw coming. "Ma'am," Ensign Rodriguez called from communications, "we're receiving the standard Zephyrian broadcast on all frequencies." "Put it through." The melodious artificial voice filled the bridge. "This sector has been purified of biological contamination. Zephyrian collective vessels are advised that this region is now suitable for crystalline habitation. Glory to the eternal lattice." Elena smiled, a cold, predatory expression that would have terrified the silicon-based Zephyrians if they were capable of understanding mammalian facial expressions. They weren't. That was their first mistake. "Tactical, what's our status on the Ghost Protocol modifications?" Commander Torres pulled up the holographic display. "All 700 ships in the survivor fleet are now equipped with the stealth nanites. Dr. Park's revenge gift to our crystalline friends." Elena nodded. Dr. Sarah Park had been the colony's chief xenobiologist, one of only 3,000 humans who had escaped the massacre by being off-world during the attack. Her subsequent 3 years of obsessive research into Zephyrian physiology had yielded something beautiful in its simplicity. Nanites that could perfectly mimic Zephyrian biosignatures while remaining completely invisible to their sensors. "The irony is exquisite," Dr. Park had explained during the final briefing. "They see us as chaotic biological noise. We're going to use that prejudice to become their worst nightmare, ghosts in their perfect ordered machines." The plan was elegant. The Zephyrian Collective operated through perfect harmony, their crystalline minds linked across vast distances in an unbreakable network. They had never encountered deception because their species was incapable of it. Every thought, every intention was shared across the eternal lattice. But humans? Humans were evolution's con artists. Navigation set course for Zephyr Prime, maximum stealth. The Retribution and her sister ships slipped through space like whispers, their hulls coated with nanites that sang false songs to Zephyrian sensors. To their instruments, the human fleet registered as cosmic background radiation, natural, harmless, and utterly beneath notice. The journey to the Zephyrian homeworld took 6 weeks. During that time, Elena watched her crew prepare for what would either be humanity's greatest victory or their final stand. The survivors of New Eden weren't soldiers, they were farmers, teachers, engineers, shopkeepers. But grief had transformed them into something harder than diamond and twice as sharp. "Ma'am," Chen reported as Zephyr Prime appeared on the main screen, "their homeworld isn't beautiful." It was. The planet's surface was a symphony of geometric perfection, crystalline spires reaching toward the heavens in mathematical harmony. Millions of Zephyrian entities moved in perfect synchronization, their silicon bodies reflecting starlight like living prisms. "Intelligence estimates?" Elena asked. 47 billion Zephyrians on the surface, another 12 billion in orbital installations. Their entire species concentrated in one system for their millennia celebration. Elena's smile returned, their second mistake. "Dr. Park, are you ready?" The xenobiologist's voice crackled over the comm. "The nanites are armed and targeted. One command from you, and every Zephyrian in this system will discover what biological contamination really means." Elena looked at the tactical display. 700 human ships, invisible to the most advanced sensor network in the galaxy, surrounding the homeworld of their enemies. The Zephyrians continued their celebration, oblivious to the fact that death floated silently among them. But Elena hesitated. This wasn't a military installation. This was an entire species. Farmers, teachers, engineers, shopkeepers, just like New Eden had been. "Commander," Torres said quietly, "they chose to exterminate us." "They called it purification." Elena nodded slowly. The Zephyrians had made their choice when they decided humanity was a disease to be cured. They had shown no mercy, no hesitation, no remorse. "All ships," Elena broadcast to the fleet. "Remember New Eden, remember the children. Remember why we're here." She opened the final channel to Dr. Park. "Execute Ghost Protocol." Across the Zephyrian system, invisible nanites began their work. Not the quick, merciful dissolution the Zephyrians had visited upon humanity, but something far more poetic. The nanites introduced chaos into their perfect crystalline structures. Random fluctuations that spread through their network, like a virus. For the first time in their species' history, the Zephyrians experienced confusion. Their perfect harmony became discord, their shared consciousness fragmenting into individual awareness. They discovered fear, doubt, and in their final moments something their species had never known, the knowledge that they were about to die. Elena watched the lights of Zephyr Prime begin to flicker and fade. Navigation set course for Earth, it's time to go home. As the human fleet slipped away from the dying Zephyrian system, Elena allowed herself one last look at her former enemies. They had erased a human colony and thought themselves righteous. Humanity had simply written their response across the stars. The silence that followed was absolute, a silence that would echo through the galaxy for 1,000 years, reminding all who heard it that sometimes the most dangerous predator is the one that learns to be patient, and humanity above all else had learned patience.